Hi everyone, hello. Welcome to my live. We're talking about KDP and Bookball today. And usually I go through the steps of designing a book and publishing it, but today I'm going to answer some questions that I have had through comments on videos or messages or things like that. So, the first question is, what exactly is Amazon KDP? So, Amazon KDP is a service that Amazon provide where you can publish your own books. And when I say books, I don't just mean novels and stories. I mean notebooks, word searches, Sudokus, puzzle books. So you call them low content books. It could be a notebook. So you can publish these directly through Amazon. And what's the benefit in that? Why is that a good thing? Well, you don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is upload your book, PDF, whatever, and when they sell it, you get a cut. So you never have to have any money up front. And if they're, you can do it as a Kindle book or an ebook or as a hardback book, and you don't ever have to have the physical book. So that is the best thing about Amazon KDP. And that's it, that's how it works. So you can upload up to 10 per week and you just wait for the sales to come in. It's best to research and find out what things are going to sell and get it published with Amazon KDP. So you sign up to Amazon KDP. It's free to sign up, it's free to publish, and it probably takes about 7 days to get verified, maybe quicker. And that's it, you just go for it. There's no catches, that's it. It's a fantastic service. Okay, next. How much does it cost to start publishing books on KDP? It costs nothing. Publishing books on KDP is totally free. The signing up to KDP is free. The publishing is free. When people buy your books, it's free. If people buy a physical book, it's free. So, for example, if I was scrolling through Amazon and I see a book I like and I click purchase, Amazon will print that book and send it to me. It takes 2 days. As a person who created that book, when that sale goes through, you get a cut of that sale. So you never have to have physical books there. You never have to have physical books yourself. You literally just publish these books, so upload these PDFs to Amazon, and that's it. Simple as that. Now, if you choose to use Bookball, which is what I use to create my books, because I don't just create books, mine are word searches, so it's a bit more, it's not like that it's more difficult, it's more that I'm not making a word search from scratch. That is a lot of time and effort. I use Bookball because it does that for me. I literally upload a list of words from Excel and it creates the word search for me. So Bookball costs money, but if you use code Tory20, you get a 20% discount. You actually get 3 days free trial, and if it's something you wanted to commit to, I'll just show you this. You can get, at the minute they're doing this, a lifetime membership. I'm actually thinking of signing up myself to this because I've used it for such a long time now. You literally just pay once for the membership and you never have to pay again. Publish forever. It's such a good deal. Yeah, so that would be the only cost, but when you start selling, it's worth it. And let me just show you exactly what I mean. So you can see my dashboard. This is this month's sales so far. So far in August, I've made $420. And you know, how much time and effort have I put into that? Well, I publish 10 books per week because it's capped at 10. So I create 10 word searches, and I've only ever done word searches. I just do word searches. So I create 10 word searches and publish the 10 word searches. That takes between 1 to 3 hours a week. That's the only thing I do. I don't advertise, I don't market, I don't do anything like that. I literally just put them out there and wait for them to sell. So you could call it passive. I do put some work in, obviously the 1 to 3 hours a week, but other than that, I just sit back and watch the sales come in. So these are the sales. And just to show you the kind of growth I've had, let's look at we'll just look at since I started using and publishing with KDP. So I think I've published my first book in February. Let's just go for this year. So this is how my sales have done this year. So I maybe published my first one in February, and it was just trialing it out. You can look on YouTube for tutorials. This really helps. Can really break it down for you how simple it is. And you can see, I think after March I decided to really try and dedicate, them few hours a week consistently, make sure I get 10 published per week. So this is still just publishing 10 per week. I can't do any more than that. And you can see how the sales have grown. Remember, August isn't finished yet, so it'll probably be more by the end of August. So far, all I've experienced is growth. I don't know if it'll grow forever, but right now, for those 3 hours work a week, it's worth it. It's totally worth it. So, for me, it's worth a go. Right. Next question. Can you actually make money from KDP in 2026? Well, yeah, of course you can. That's what am I doing? I'm making money. And let me just, how did I get here? I literally watched a YouTube video. I've tried loads of different side hustles, loads of different income streams, trying to get these to work. And the reason I chose to try KDP and BookBolt was because I like the flexibility of it. I like that I can do my day job, be a mom, do family time, look after the household, and then if I've got a spare hour here or on an evening, a couple of spare hours, I can just create my books and publish them whenever I like. That's what appealed to me about it. And then the BookBolt, using BookBolt makes the process quicker. And when time is a hot commodity in your life and you've got limited of it, you want to use things that shortcut the whole process. That's why I use BookBolt. It gives a professional finish and it makes it all so much quicker and easier for me. As I said, loads of tutorials on YouTube. I could do my own tutorial, and I do some on lives, but there's even better ones on YouTube. I highly recommend just having a look and trialing it. Okay, more questions. How much money can a beginner realistically expect to make? Well, that is where I refer back to my sales that I've made throughout the year. It's slow. It starts off slow, but when you get that one sale, that's all I started off with, 1 or 2 in a month. It's very encouraging because it reminds you, I did something and it worked. When you see it work, that is such good motivation. So as a beginner, you're not going to make even $400 in the first month. I'm on month 5 or 6, and this is where I'm at. And you might think, 5-6 months and that's all you've got. I've just done this a couple of hours a week, every week. And I'm sat back and the sales come in and I'm not having to do anything. I don't have to package stuff. I don't have to see where my order's going. The money literally just lands. So do you know what I mean? For the effort that's going in, it's pretty good. I think I would really like to see that hit $500 by the end of the month. And my goal was, when I first started seeing that money come in, so about May, it was I'd love to get £500 from this. That's when I'll really feel like this is a thing. This is an actual thing. So $500 is like the one before the £500 for me. So I think £500 is maybe like $670. So if I can get that by the end of the year, I'll feel like a winner for sure. And I'm not, just reminding guys, I'm not from any sort of book publishing literary background. I'm literally a maths teacher. I just followed some tutorials on YouTube and that is it. And the main thing was using BookBolt. So if you want to give it a go, BookBolt does cost. But if you use my code Tory20, you do get a 20% discount and you get 3 days free trial. So if you've got some ideas of what you want to make, even just use that 3 days to do as much as you can to see, does it work for you? Get them made, get them published, see how it goes, and then maybe sign up later on. Or commit and get the lifetime membership. It's a great deal, so can't complain. So yeah, definitely give it a go. There's a link in my bio, by the way. If you click the link, it'll send you straight to it. Next question. What types of books are easiest for a beginner to create? I would say probably something that you like yourself. What I mean by that is if you buy planners or if you like crosswords or Sudokus, you actually already have an idea of what, as a customer, what you like and what things appeal. So I think getting your first few started, when you've already got things in mind, like maybe you think it needs to be a certain size or a certain style or a preferred font or a preferred cover, things like that, I think that's probably a really good place to start. Just because you're familiar with it and you know what someone would want to buy. That's what I would do. Next question. And also, when you've picked something, YouTube it. Stick it into YouTube. How to create a Sudoku on BookBolt and just follow it step by step. Once you've done it 3, 4, 5 times, it becomes second nature. Easy peasy. Next question. Do I need to be a writer to make money with KDP? Nope. I don't particularly like writing. It's not my forte. As I said, I'm a maths teacher. I'm more like a puzzly mathsy person than a writing grammar and all that kind of stuff. Not for me. No. So absolutely do not need to be a writer. The most I do is type into AI, write a list of words about cats, or write 50 lists of words about types of dogs. Whatever my topic is for my word search. That's the only writing I do. I use AI to help with everything, even writing the blurb or asking it what a good cover looks like, things like that. You use the tools that are there. Make it all streamlined, nice and easy for yourself. Okay, another question. How many books do I need to publish before I start seeing sales? That's a difficult one because if I think I published 1 or 2 books, nothing happened. Hang on now, I think in February I published maybe 3, I just picked 3 word searches. Now the first one I published, if I'd have just stopped there, that one has never ever sold a single copy. So it's one of those, try different things, research. You can use BookBolt to research. Let me show you. So they have a keyword search, and this helps you find things that people are searching for, things to avoid because the market's oversaturated, whether they think it would sell well, how many copies are expected to sell. So use this. If you sign up to BookBolt, absolutely use this. It'll help you pick or get a better idea what would sell that you're going to pick. So how many books you need to publish? I'll just tell you what I did. I published 3 in that first month, forgot about it, checked it like 3 weeks later, and I think I had 2 sales. So that doesn't mean you will or anyone else will, but they were nothing special. They were just me trialing some things. So I don't know if it was luck of the draw. I don't know. Maybe some people publish and never see a sale. I would just say, especially if you're going to try the Book Bolt 3-day free trial, make as many books as you can and as many word searches as possible in those 3 days. Get them all published and see what happens. Give it a try. And then what helps is when you make those sales, you can determine based on the sales what you're going to make next. So maybe you've done like animal word searches or hobby word searches. Maybe the hobby ones don't sell, but some of the animal ones do, or pet specific, and then that helps you. Okay, well my next one I'll make them even more pet specific. Instead of doing puppy word searches, I'll do dash hound owner word searches. Things like that. Your sales determine or help determine what's next. All of my sales are based on previous sales. So I'll see what sold the month before, and then the next stuff that I create will be different versions or similar things to that. And then you kind of create this big catalogue of similar things. Let's go for another question. Okay. How long does it normally take to get your first KDP sale? Mine was a matter of weeks. So in terms of when you're looking at online income, that's not long. I don't think that's long. I've had stuff on Etsy for over a year and not sold stuff. So for me, very quick, I think. But it just depends. Consistency is key. If this is something you're going to do, really go for it. And I'm sure it won't be long. Another question. Is KDP passive income once you've published the books? In a way, yes. If I stopped publishing and I ignored and didn't ever touch KDP again, would the sales just land in my bank? Yes. The only thing I'm not sure on is, or I think is true, is if you are publishing regularly, it shows you're an active publisher and it keeps your catalogues alive and pushed, I think. So in one way, yes, passive, but in another way, I wouldn't sit back and rely on that forever. Me personally, my sales have grown, and I think part of that is because I keep publishing. And I haven't just sat back and let it, let the sales tick in. I'd be disappointed if I sat back and then the sales declined because I wasn't publishing, when I could easily be publishing when, as I said, it takes 1, 2, 3 hours a week. It's worth it, isn't it? A little bit of work. Another question. Is the KDP market too saturated now? It depends what you're publishing. I'm managing to make sales and I'm not publishing anything special, literally word searches. I think if you use BookBolt's features of the keyword search here, and you find what niches are missing, be specific, be very, very specific. Then you're going to target a market that no one, if you just put word search for child, that is so broad, or word search for kids. You need like something very specific. Word search for brain rot kids age 7, 8, 9, whatever. Make it specific. Find word search for children who love dinosaurs. You're narrowing that niche, which means you're narrowing the competition. And then it's those finding those little pockets of searches and people where they are the books aren't quite there, and you can complete those empty pockets. So that's, I think I've answered 10 questions there. Yes, that is 10 questions answered. If you've got any more questions, feel free to send me a message, send me a comment. Yeah, and I'll do another live about them and see if I can get the answers to you. So just a reminder, KDP, sign up to KDP, it's free. You can publish 10 books a week for free. You get money when sales are made. Perfect. This is how much I've made this month so far. I've been doing this 6 months. If you're making word searches, puzzle books, things like that, BookBolt, there's a link in my bio. Click the link. Get a discount on the subscription. I think the subscription's, I can't remember, £20, something like that. You get 20% off. And you're not committed. You can pay month by month. Use my code Tori20 to get that discount. Or get the lifetime subscription that's on offer at a minute. Brilliant. Use YouTube to help you, guide you step by step, and get your BookBolt KDP side hustle off the ground. If you don't do it now, and then you come back to this idea, 2-3 months, a year in the future, you will kick yourself for not starting now. The best time to start is now. Get it going, get it moving. If you start now, you might start to see that income by Christmas, which we all know helps, a little bit extra. Again, any more questions, feel free to message and I'll answer them on my next live. I'm going to do another live on Thursday, so I'll probably do some more answers and questions and answers then. And we'll look at using BookBolt, what it takes to create a book, and then maybe look at some publishing too. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!